Welcome everyone to ET Studios powered by Sophos. Now today's session has a title that really hits home. Attackers don't sleep and neither does MDR. And let's be honest, that's the reality of cybersecurity. Threat actors don't clock out at 6 p.m. They are active 24/7. And the big question is, are your defenses keeping up? Now, here's the thing, alerts alone won't save you, as we know, they are just the starting point. So, what really matters is what happens next, the detection, the analysis, and the response. And that's where managed detection and response, or MDR, comes in. We are joined in for this conversation by Kishan Kendre, Head Infosec Blue Star Limited, and Ravindra Bavishkar, Director Sales Engineering, Sophos India and SARC. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this conversation.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll start with you, Ravindra. Let's start with basics. When we say that attackers don't sleep, what does that actually mean in practical sense for enterprises today, and also how the threat landscape has actually changed as compared to, say, 3 years ago?
First of all, thanks for having me here to discuss on a topic which is very relevant today and very close to my heart as well. When we say attacker don't sleep, it really reflects on how threat landscape has evolved over past few years. If you see 3 to 5 years ago, attacks were very opportunistic. A simple ransomware attack or a phishing campaign was sent out in a bulk hoping that someone might click onto it. Today, attackers have become more organized, right? They are literally running it like a business, leveraging automation to scan weaknesses, maybe targeting specific verticals like healthcare and manufacturing, and even operating in a time zone where they want to strike when organization defenses are at the weakest, like night, weekends, or on holidays, right? And on top of it, we have seen rise in supply chain attack, cloud compromises, identity related threats. With all this, organizations or enterprises should not think that cybersecurity is a daytime job anymore, right? So, in a nutshell, when we say attackers don't sleep, in practical sense, it means that if your defenses are active during only office hours, then you are most likely to be vulnerable.
Thank you so much for sharing that point, and that brings me to actually my next question, which is for you, Kishan. You deal with this every day. The issue, you deal with this every day. You get bombarded with a lot of alerts on day-to-day basis, but alerts, of course, alone, they don't solve the problem, right? So how real is the challenge of alert fatigue? First, and then also help me understand, what's missing in the traditional SOC system as well when we talk about the entire security land.
Thanks for having me. As you rightly mentioned, that the alert fatigue is a issue for each and every organizations. Uh, the alerts which we receive it from a multiple data sources or a multiple technologies, which don't talk to each other so frequently. So you mentioned about the what is missing in the traditional SOC also. By because in traditional SOC, the technologies don't talk to each other. Whatever generated by one technology or one solution, the others will not understand that. How you will perform the correlation rules, the uh, actual proactive threat hunting, you will not be able to do with the alerts which you are getting it. And in a SOC, on a small organization, you will get hundreds of or thousands of alerts. How do you prioritize which one to take it act? Manually going through them, it's impossible to do it. But and sometimes or most of the times you can say that you will get lots of false positives which will not give any value added things. The proactiveness, you will not see it into the traditional socks. The connection between the multiple technologies or the correlation between how you want to proactively do the threat hunting, that will be missing into the traditional SOC. Level 1, level 2, level 1, some activities they are trying to automate or they are automated into the traditional SOC, but not to a major correlation between the products. It's still pending, that which I say.
All right, and I feel this is where MDR comes into the picture as well, right? And let's get you in the conversation, like where MDR, if you want, if you have to explain our audiences, where does it actually fits in the practical sense, and how different it is from just different any other tool or perhaps any other dashboard.
Yeah. So I'll answer second question first, Himanshi. So we all know that most of the organizations are using plenty of cybersecurity tools today, like and like say firewall, endpoint, EDR, email, identity, and so on. and each product generates an alert. But then an alert on a dashboard does not stop attacker from reaching out to the goal, right? We need to find out what is the context behind that alert. Do we need to correlate that alert from the other alerts generated by other security tools in the environment, right? And remember, this alert might have been generated at 2 a.m. on the weekend. So you need to have 24/7 monitoring. That's exactly where MDR comes into the equation. With MDR, it's not about technology alone. It is technology plus people plus processes. With MDR, the analyst is monitoring your infrastructure 24/7. And if anything suspicious is found, let's say unusual PowerShell activity, a user logged in from two or account getting logged in from two different locations at the same time, right? They will immediately start investigating it, and then if it found to be confirmed bad, they will immediately initiate a response action like isolating the host, killing that particular account, blocking that particular account, or even stopping the lateral movement, right? So the difference is very clear, right? Tools can tell you what's wrong or what's perhaps going wrong in the environment, but MDR can tell you what is exactly happening inside the infrastructure. So you need tools to detect tool, but then behind all those tools, there is a human operating it, like hacker or attacker, what we call them as. And to detect them, you need a skilled resource, a skilled human, right? And then MDR brings that skill set for you.
Yeah. Now, thank you so much for sharing that point. That actually sets a lot of context for us. And I would also like to jump into the build versus buy debate. You know, when we talk about MDR, Kishan, please come into the conversation. From your experience, what's the biggest value or add on you can get on partnering with an MDR provider compared to building that MDR or scaling that MDR in house?
One of the best thing with the MDR, I can say, you don't need to invent many things. One of the major challenge in the traditional SOC, which I missed to mention, about the resources or the expertise of the understanding the alerts which you are getting it from the different security technologies you are deployed or different solutions which you are deployed it into. The MDR, what it does, it gives a scale, it gives expertise people for your understand these alerts which are getting generated. One of the major challenges is the resources, because on payroll, if you have resources, if they leave the organization, getting another person is again a challenge. So you have to look for an MDR partner who will do an automated threat hunting for you. He will be available at or they will be available at 24/7. As he rightly mentioned, over the holiday seasons, always there will be a attack happen. Most of the attacks previously used to happen over the holiday sessions, mostly in December's Diwali time and all. But with the help of the MDR, you can keep worry. It means you can keep your worry aside. They will be able to manage. They will be able to, and it's again a cost saving also. You'll be
Yeah.
able to get
The
it because
response timeline
response
has
time will,
changed.
yes, response time will get changed. Previously, the time we used to take it to detect an alert to till the result, it's a quite big. With the help of MDR, we can reduce that. We cannot completely eliminate. Previously, with the SOC, you'll get only the alerts, but how you fix those things also? If you want to proactively fix it from a centralized place, you'll not be able to do it from the SOC. Through MDR, you'll be able to do that in one go, which is an added advantage. You will get it.
Okay, and I'll take that point across to you as well. You know, when attackers attack, they don't give you the luxury of time, right? And MDR, as far as Kishan has been telling, and as far as we know, reduces the response time. Talk to us about that, and also why is it so critical when it comes to the speed of action?
Very important question, Himanshi. So one of the biggest lesson we have learned from the real world breaches are attacker don't waste time, right? So once they are inside your network, they will try to move laterally. They will steal credentials. Well, they will try to drop an ransomware payload, and this happens in minutes or hours, right? So the window for defense is very small, right? And if you talk about traditional SOC, they are heavily investing their times or spending their time into analyzing the alert, whether the alert is confirmed bad or a benign one, right? And by that time, they come to a conclusion, attack has already advanced, right? And that's exactly where MDR plays an important role, right? So as I mentioned, MDR monitors infrastructure 24/7. Any suspicious thing found, they will start investigating it immediately. And if it is confirmed bad, they will initiate a response action. And response is a very critical bit when you are tackling with an attacker or a time or a speed. Now with Sophos MDR, customers are getting average response time of 38 minutes. And how we split that? It is less than 1 minute to detect, less than 25 minutes to investigate, and less than 12 minutes to response. So response is a very critical element when you are struggling with the speed and the accuracy. And that's the only reason maybe there are 33,000 plus customers using Sophos MDR, because they need to act when attacker is there inside your network.
Yeah, you were also talking about the people plus technology equation. How does it solve the skills factor, and how human intelligence has to be there with the technology that we are adopting? And that point, I would like to ask you as well, Kishan, because you're coming from a company's perspective, from a CISO perspective. How, when we sort of bring a new technology in an organization, as we were also earlier talking about, you required skilled employee to handle that technology, right? So how does MDR solve that problem for you? And the people plus technology equation, how does that solve it for you?
So threat landscape is continuously evolving. Getting means people has to learn new things. The new technologies are
And
coming
learning
into.
takes time.
Yeah, learning takes time. Definitely, it will take time. And only not you don't need to stop at the learning. You have to become a mature also in that, which is a very big challenge. And until that moment, as I can give an example, hackers, if you are getting 100 attacks from a hacker, he has to get succeed only for once. But for us, we have to defend all hundreds. So this learning till maturity, it will go, time passes. MDR will help me to prevent those things. Detection anyway, now detection is a old thing nowadays. Now everybody is talking about the prevention, which is a reality which can be achieved through the MDA. And the resources anyway, the organizations from whom we are going to purchase the MDR, they will have the skilled resources. They will monitor 24/7, and they will be able to prevent the things before it happens, which is the need of the hour. The attacks will continuously happen now. Thanks to AI, you can say that that will be more and more value added things will they will do it from there. But from our perspective, we want to prevent those, but without disrupting our business. If someone resource leaves the organization, how do you tackle those things? Getting a new resource, train it, 6 months bypasses, but the attacks are continuously happening. It you will not be able to uh, close those things on the time. But with the help of the MDR team, they will be your trusted partner. You don't need to worry about anything. So they will take care of that. Even if the resources go, they will have a collaboration available with them. They will have a better correlation between. They will have a better knowledge onto the technologies which are there available in the market.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And also, tell me, that is MDR only suitable for large companies, or mid-sized companies gain as much?
Even I can say that instead of for a large customers, they will have in-house people. But for the small customers or a medium customer, they will not have many people in the organization. They mostly try to outsource. So I always say that for all scenarios, all size of organization, MDR is suitable.
All right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen, for being a part of this conversation. And I would like to end this conversation by talking about the future of MDR. And please get into the conversation, Ravindra. What's next for MDR as we look at 3 to 5 years down the line? What do you think? What's next for MDR? And also, how do you see MDR evolving with respect to AI, automation, a lot of new technologies coming in?
Okay, so I'll start. So we have been talking about threat landscape evolving a lot. We have talked about it. The thing is, even attackers have started using AI, right, to craft and sophisticated phishing campaign or even write malwares at the same time. MDR needs to evolve too, right, with use of AI as well. So when we say about what's the future, what's next, future is all about AI augmented human driven security operations center, right? It's a combination of machine intelligence versus human intelligence. In previous question, you talked about technology and people, but then the people part is not about manpower. It's about the brain power, right? You need to have those right set of skills, right? And that's exactly where human intelligence with machine intelligence will come into the picture. So AI augmented human led SOC is analyst is doing day-to-day job, right? And to avoid the repetitive tasks, that's exactly where AI can help you out, right? To find out the patterns about that particular bad files, bad behavior, AI can help you out with that, so that analysts can focus on more core part of threat hunting, right? And the second trend, what we are seeing is the platformization. When I say platformization, a services talk about MDR built on a cloud native open platform. And when I say open platform, no vendor lock-in, no technology lock-in. It should work with what customer has already heavily invested into, right? It should be able to take ingest data from that, and then platform will be able to again leverage AI capabilities to give you the output, and on top of it, you can put the services. So when I say AI, platformization and AI augmented human-led security operation is going to be creating a buzz next time.
Yeah, please add, sir.
Just wanted to add one more thing. You'll be able to get the quick reporting which will be needed for your management teams.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And gentlemen, thank you so much for this insightful conversation. At the end of the day, MDR, as far as I have understood, brings people, technology, and processes together so that perhaps organizations can defend without drowning in noise, per se. But thank you so much
Thank you.
for sharing all your views. It was really insightful and such a fascinating conversation around MDR. And to our viewers, stay tuned for many, many more such insightful and exciting conversations only at ET Studios.